Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw results and W main event for the week of June 24th, 2019. Happy birthdays go to Don West from June the 20th. He was born 1963. Coco Beware, 1957. Shadia Basio, 1986. No birthdays on the 21st. How about birthdays on the 22nd? Earthquake, John Tenta, 1963. Brandy Rhodes, Cody Rhodes' wife, 1983 on the 23rd. Also rounding off birthdays on the 23rd, Billy Kay, 1989. Birthdays on the 24th, WWE Women's Champion Layla, former Women's Champion Layla, turned 42 years old. While NXT referee Jessica Carr turned 28, and former WWE star Damian Demento turned 61. WWE producer Adam Pearce turned 41 years old, and NXT superstar Jessamine Duke turned 33. WWE posted this video of Universal Champion Seth Rollins hanging out with 11-year-old Wish Kid Lizzie from Make-A-Wish Foundation while backstage at Raw from Staples Center in Los Angeles. Ryan Albert is no longer working with WWE Creative. Wrestling Inc. has learned that Albert quit the company last week to pursue opportunities outside of wrestling. Albert worked the company 3 years ago. He had mostly been working on NXT and NXT UK in the last year. Albert has also appeared on camera last October as Mr. Bootyworth in a segment with The New Day, which you could watch it on YouTube in their little segments. Albert has alluded to being finished with the company last week in an Instagram post, writing, "At WB, it's been a wild 3 years. Thank you for everything, but mostly the frequent flyer miles. One of the best writing teams in the world to work on. Glad I got to be a part of it. One complaint from the fans at Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington, from Raw for the Stomping Grounds pay-per-view had to do with the lack of screens to watch the action on. It was noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that Brian Alvarez, who attended the pay-per-view live, that WWE had 0 screens hanging inside the arena for the fans who watched the matches on. WWE also did not show the in-ring action on the Tron on the big screen. The Tron has been an issue for years now, but word is that WWE does not air the matches on the Tron because Kevin Dunn, WWE's executive vice president of TV production, feels like it's too distracting to put the matches on the big screen. How about in the arena itself? Because you got the big screen right above you. Hello. Apparently, there were more fans complaining about it not being able to see the action during the steel cage match between Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston. Fans who had decent seats were complaining about the view too, which means those sitting higher up probably had more visibility issues. Highlights from the latest Being the Elite episode from AEW can be found in this link. This episode is called Control Room. Episode number 58. New U.S. champion Ricochet botched his entrance at last night at Stomping Grounds pay-per-view before the win over Samoa Joe. He acknowledged the botch on Twitter and wrote, "Not my best one. Bah ha 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 ha. Laugh emoji." Cedric Alexander responded, "All them wings and no air. Laugh emoji." The champ later wrote about what caused the botch after a fan referenced a no capes moment from the Incredibles movie. He wrote, "I know, I actually thought about this before the match started. I wanted to take it off before I ran to the ring. But I started running and thought, yeah, I didn't take this jacket off yet. Dang." You can see that botch at this link. I'll post both links. I think there was a picture of it and then the actual video. Also, the second video, thanks to Scotty Styles 29 on Twitter. Also noted, WWE NXT superstar Kyle O'Reilly was recently pulled from wrestling at the weekend's Evolve 129 and 130 events. He will still appear for the meet and greets and in the corner of Roderick Strong for his matches. as they're in the faction together. O'Reilly was pulled from all bookings because he's currently dealing with a staph infection. According to Pro Wrestling Sheet, the member of the Undisputed Era is expected to be healed up and back in action within a week or so. He also missed NXT ring time due to the infection. O'Reilly received stitches in his back following the Fatal 4-Way ladder match at NXT TakeOver 24 event on June 1st, and those stitches recently developed the staph infection. Evolve announced today that they confirmed the WWE NXT superstar Kyle O'Reilly has been pulled from the Evolve 129 and 30. Scheduled for the weekend, O'Reilly has been dealing with a back injury as of late. Sorry to inform you that Kyle O'Reilly will not be able to compete at Evolve this weekend. We were just given the news. We will have more info and updated cards later for the evening. Thank you for your understanding. Promotional wrote on Twitter today. Also noted last week how Bobby Fish had also been pulled from events due to some sort of injury. O'Reilly was scheduled to team with Roger Shaw to face WWN champion J.D. Drake and Anthony Henry on Friday night in Queens. He was then scheduled to face Josh Briggs on Saturday night in Brooklyn. We could be seeing Rey Mysterio back in the ring very soon, as like a couple of weeks, if everything goes according to plan. According to PW Insider, there's talk backstage that at WWE Stomping Grounds pay-per-view that Rey would be able to return at the Raw TV taping in Newark, New Jersey on July 8th, if he is medically cleared. Rey had to relinquish the U.S. title due to injury, giving it to the man he beat at Money in the Bank via controversy, Samoa Joe. Rey recently talked about his injury during his match with Samoa Joe and recovery process earlier this month on the weekly podcast on Wrestling Inc. When I saw the replay, I saw that Samoa Joe's left shoulder was off the canvas during the recount, Rey stated. Due to unfortunate aftermath after winning the title, I suffered separated left shoulder. That has put me on the bench, so I've been doing some PRP and slight rotation movements. I'm trying to see if I could get back in possibly late June or July. While recovering, Rey is also working on his Fight for Autism campaign. And this link here, with proceeds going to foundations working with children around the world with autism. Wrestling Inc.'s full interview with Rey was included in a recent episode of Weekly Podcast. Go to that podcast, that link there. But it can be heard via the embedded player at the bottom of that link. In it, Rey discusses why he has launched Rey Mysterio's Fight for Autism, his connection to children with autism and their families. When he could return to in-ring action, his feud with Samoa Joe, the launch of AEW, comparisons between Andrade and Eddie Guerrero, his relationship with Vince McMahon, a dream match with AJ Styles, his son Dominic's pro wrestling future, using the Canadian Destroyer on WWE, and more. NXT Tyler Breeze is replacing O'Reilly at Evolve shows. He will face AR Fox on Saturday night and Anthony Green on Sunday night. Jinder Mahal has reportedly signed a new 5-year deal, according to Pro Wrestling Sheet. The new deal is 5 years, which is a link that WWE has been re-signing talents to as of late. Jinder is currently on the SmackDown brand and has been involved in recent 24/7 title chase segment. He recently became a 2-time 24/7 champion, but lost the title during a flight to Saudi Arabia. Mahal won the WWE title from Randy Orton in 2017, his first title run in the company. He will hold the title for 170 days, dropping it to AJ Styles on the November SmackDown episode that year. Mahal has held the U.S. title since then, but has not had much of a push from Raw or SmackDown since last year. Jinder Mahal joins Mojo Rawley, Mike Kanellis, and Maria as talents who have also signed 5-year deals lately. The latest episode of Rousey Acres, featuring Ronda Rousey and Travis Brown on their YouTube channel, who is currently on a hiatus from WWE. This episode features a funny car ride conversation on pronunciation with Ronda and husband Travis Brown. That link. I'll post it at the Rousey Acres part when I say it. The Miz, Sheamus, WWE Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor, WWE Champion Kofi Kingston, and Universal Champion Seth Rollins are featured in a new commercial for Gold Bond, and you can see it at this link. probably be on Raw and SmackDown for next week. Following WWE Stomping Grounds, WWE Network premiered New 365 on WWE Superstar Alexa Bliss. The special focus on Bliss's journey in wrestling and personal life from the WrestleMania 34 until WrestleMania 35 on the network. Immediately following Stomping Grounds pay-per-view, didn't even stop into it. As I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning, it was unfroze and apparently was playing again. One segment was special owns in Bliss's emotion and controversial storyline with Nia Jax being crescendoed into a WWE Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 34. Bliss said that the feud was based from real life situations around two performers, past body image issues. According to Bliss, Jax had experienced body shaming while Bliss had suffered from eating disorders. The storyline with Nia Jax is my favorite one because we touch on real issues. Bliss said, we both are really big on body positivity. Nia had a past of getting bullied and body shamed. I struggled with eating disorders that almost took my life. It was a great story because it was real. It was no secret that Nia and I are best friends, Bliss claimed. To see Nia holding the title up and knowing that my best friend is having her WrestleMania moment, and I was able to share that with her was awesome. We did the best job at our ability to make the payoff and show that bullies never win, and the good guy will prevail because of the story we had told leading up to it. Another personal note, the 365 highlighted on Bliss's physical and emotional issues she experienced is due to her past eating disorder. Bliss noted that she has had implant surgeries at the age of 17 to help her feel more womanly and eventually move beyond her body image problems. There's a lot of rumors about it, like, oh, did Alex Bliss get implants? I've had implants since I was 17, Bliss said. I'm very open and honest about it. When I had my eating disorder, I got down to 85 pounds. My doctor told my mom, said if I don't get admitted, I will die. They treated my health symptoms. They didn't treat my mental side of it, no. The second time I was hospitalized, they treated it like a mental disorder and a mental illness. And that's actually when it started getting better. So I was very self-conscious about my body and that the fact that I felt like I looked like a 7-year-old boy. There are studies that show implants help women recover from eating disorders because they feel more womanly and they feel better about their bodies and their self-image. All the doctors in on this one procedure were my pediatrician, my eating disorder doctor, my psychologist, my psychiatrist. I will never regret doing that for myself because it helped me get over my eating disorder and my body image issues. Bliss also credits her best friend, Erin, for helping her move past her mentally, even beyond her disorders. Bliss said that it took Erin's advice to help shape a new perspective on her issues, which was ultimately the catalyst for Bliss's recovery. My friend Erin was with me, my best friend Erin, Bliss said. She was my rock to the point where I didn't feel comfortable eating unless Erin was there. She was one of the things that mentally made me say I needed to get over my eating disorder because I remember her asking me one day, she's like, Lex, if you think you're out of shape and fat, what do you think I look like? That was really hard to hear because the fact that what I was doing was affecting other people. My best friend, for that matter, I wouldn't wish what I had gone through to my worst enemy, let alone my best friend. What I was doing was making her so insecure herself, and that was something that clicked with me and mentally made me want to get better. It was for me, but it was for Erin as well, because I couldn't be the responsibility for her feeling bad about herself. Go to the network to find out more. See for yourself. Since PJ Black, formerly known as Justin Gabriel, departed with WWE in 2015, he appeared in just about every other major promotion out there, from TNA to Lucha Underground to NWA. Black is now part of the Ring of Honor and signed an exclusive deal with him earlier this year. Interview can be found in this link here for you. Black actually had the opportunity to return to WWE and start out in NXT, but he chose Ring of Honor over them. Reveal why and also talked about his start in WWE developmental territory, FCW, before his first time. That was a dream come true for me. In fact, that was the best year of my life, Black told Wrestling Inc.'s Joey G. I moved to the U.S., and I had no bills. I didn't have a car payment or a mortgage payment. They moved me to this house in Florida, and I got to wrestle every single day with my friends. I went to the gym, to wrestling shows, and tanned. This was my life for 10 months. After 2 years in FCW, Black joined WWE main roster as Justin Gabriel, and the Nexus was formed a short time later. It was a groundbreaking angle, and their debut was unlike anything fans have ever seen. Black reflected on that angle and says he didn't realize how moments the Nexus was until sometime later. At the time, we didn't know how big it was going to be and how cool it was going to be. Later on, we realized that when people backstage had been working there for 30 or 40 years, come up to us and we're like, this is new. This is something different. Black said before adding that storylines of wrestling are often recycled, but this was something entirely new. I wish it ran a little bit longer, as we didn't even get the WrestleMania moment, but it's all history now. Black had many options when it came to wrestling promotions, but in Ring of Honor stuck out to him to do a variety of factors. He talked about why he chose Ring of Honor over NXT, and if he's still happy about the decision for months later. Totally happy, so happy. I had an opportunity to go back to NXT. It was the same money for 200 shows or more. So really, that was a no-brainer for me, stated Black. I have creative freedom and freedom outside because I do a lot of things outside of wrestling that they let me do whenever. And with creative freedom in wrestling, just to be yourself is so important. Black said if he loves the WWE, he would never knock them. But he believes that they micromanage way too much. He believes that the Attitude Era was so popular because wrestlers had more creative input than what they do now. Apart from the creative freedom, Black said the old school atmosphere of Ring of Honor was also a big draw for him. I love the storytelling of Ring of Honor and the old school code of honor of shaking hands before and after matches. I feel like fans appreciate wrestling different now than they did years ago. As NXT shows, an in-ring performance is very important right now, and that's what I like about wrestling. It keeps on evolving, stated Black. Dana Brooke appeared on Monday Night Raw in Everett, Washington, for another one of her Flex segments with a live crowd during a commercial break. What's up, Everett? And like in the ring, we take hits like this, Brooke said before showing a shot from last week's WWE main event. Injury from Sarah Logan. Last week I was bumped and bruised, and nobody walks through life unscathed. But I don't call them scars, though. I call them badges of honor, and nothing will hit me hard enough to keep me down. And I knew that goes the same with all of you. So, Everett, get up on your feet to show me your strength, and let me see your best flex. Put them up, guys. Let me see it. Put them up. Put them up. Brooke's music then hit, and she pointed out the fans, who were flexing in the crowd. Also noted, Brooke faced Logan in a rematch of this week's main event tapings in Everett, and you can find it in that link there. I don't know if that's the video of reflecting, or the segment, or the actual match on main event. WWE have more of the fan interaction segments during commercial breaks at this week's Raw from Everett, Washington, led by Sarah Schreiber. As seen in this link, one fan tweeted about how Schreiber quizzed a younger fan on wrestler nicknames. He named CM Punk when asked who goes by the best in the world nickname, which would be Shane McMahon to WWE. At Daddy Duggan, highlights of the night during Raw commercial break kid contest of wrestler nicknames. His fourth question, best in the world, his answers at CM Punk. At Chatterboy, Tanner85 Toy, at this link. Warrior probably got both of them on there. Heath Slater vs. Mojo Rawley was supposed to take place on this week's Raw, but 24/7 title changes interrupted the match. And this is a video of that, which was released before Raw to set the match up, featuring Rawley stopping Slater from entering Shane McMahon's office. Slater was then attacked last week by Drew McIntyre after coming out of the office, which I thought they were advertising for this week's Raw as well. Last time you walked into that office, he said, it didn't work out so well for you, did it? You thought you were getting a raise, but what you really got was a beating. Man, that was embarrassing, bro. That was embarrassing not only for you, but for your whole family. What you need to do is go look in the mirror. Face reality. And just quit, man. Just quit. Mojo said to Slater, doing on his mirror image stuff. Slater threatened to go in the office and ask for a singles match against Mojo instead. Mojo laughed and responded, if that's what you want, you're the one who has to look at yourself in the mirror after it. No word yet on the Slater versus McIntyre match. Will take place next week. Sheamus trains with injured NXT superstar Tamaso Ciampa in this new video from his Celtic Warrior Workout YouTube channel, which is the 83rd episode. The episode features a neck rehab workout. WWE superstar Sheamus and aka Celtic Warrior here. What can I say about Tamaso Ciampa? The man is walking, talking inspiration story. With all of the stumbling blocks put in his way as he climbed through the ranks of the world wrestling. He never gave up. He just about injured every part of his body, and his latest neck problem involved some of the most serious surgery imaginable. Yet he still is fighting, and after the workout we did in his home in Orlando, surrounded by his dogs and even his new baby, I know he'll be back in the WWE ring stronger than ever, and more determined to reach the top. At his home gym, Tamaso put me through a rigorous warm-up and a stretching routine before 3 rounds of push-pull sets, with the emphasis always being about getting slowly stronger bit by bit while protecting his neck, while he calls his workout regime baby steps, and why he must the most perfect representative of brave change, Sheamus wrote with the video. Nia Jax revealed on Instagram at this link she's now rocking a new hairstyle. You can see the look in the video, along with a few Twitter exchanges that she said she had with fans about her hair. Jax underwent double knee surgery back in April 25th and is said to be doing great. Ahead of schedule with her recovery, she should be back in time for 2020 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is now advertising a new triple threat for the WWE title for July 14th Extreme Rules pay-per-view with champion Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens. Which you've seen on. You can see the outcome on SmackDown that was advertised for the video. Go to that for the results on if that actually happened. The match was previously advertised as Kofi defending against Owens and Randy Orton in a triple threat. So Randy Orton was removed in the match and now put Dolph Ziggler, I guess. The arena is also advertising AJ Styles versus a mystery opponent. Styles versus Drew McIntyre was previously advertised. McIntyre is now advertised to team with Shane McMahon for a handicap match against Roman Reigns, which was previously advertised as Shane and Elias versus Reigns. Baron Consummated Corbin versus Universal Champion Seth Rollins in a tables match is still being advertised for that arena. So that should be your pay-per-view match. We should start to get a better idea with the next couple of weeks, warming up for Raw and SmackDowns next week to see what we got for that. Spoilers for main event episode. Dana Brooke defeated Sarah Logan. EC3, Cesaro, Bobby Roode defeated Kalisto, Lex Dorado, and Gran Metalik. Thanks to Gabriel Romero 48 on Twitter for the spoilers on that. Raw opened up from the Angel of Winds Arena in Everett, Washington, as Michael Colson welcomes the show. Chimed in by Corey Graves and Renee Young. We go right to the ring. Out comes Universal Champion Seth Rollins to a pop. We see how Rollins retained over Baron Corbin at the Stomping Grounds pay-per-view. Rollins finally took a mic after a pop from the crowd. Kept on going. He starts talking about Corbin and Stomping Grounds, but the music interrupts. Out comes Rollins' girlfriend, Becky Lynch. Fans also cheer the man on. Fans chant Becky's name as her music hit. Rollins jokes with her about interrupting him. He said, "Really? You're interrupting me?" Rollins says he actually got to give Corbin some credit because Corbin knew that he couldn't beat him straight up. He knew that he would have to get a referee like Lacey Evans, but he wasn't smart enough to realize that Rollins had the best backup on the planet. Fans pop and chant for Becky's name again. Becky says it pays to be the man's man. Becky says that they proved individually last night why they are the champions of their divisions. Becky says Lacey had nothing when it came time to fight last night, and then she came out trying to steal the title from someone else, but not Becky's watch. Or not on Becky's watch. Corbin's music hits to interrupt. Corbin never shows, but Evans attacks Lynch from behind and beats her down. Rollins eventually breaks them up, and Becky shoves him. Rollins is shot. Becky gets past Rollins and unloads on Evans in the corner. Corbin hits the ring, but Rollins watches him, and they brawl. Rollins does a sling blade. Lynch continues unloading on Evans and hits a back exploder. Evans retreats from the ring, as does Corbin with a sneak attack failing. Corbin takes the mic and yells at Rollins about Becky saving him again. Corbin says Rollins should put his title on Becky, fly home and put an apron on because Becky is taking care of his business. Evans threatens to put hands on Rollins again. Corbin says everyone knows he would be champion right now if it wasn't for Lynch last night. Corbin says he picked Evans because she was the only real woman around here. Corbin says he'd pick Evans for his partner anywhere. Evans accepts and proposes it for Extreme Rules. Lynch accepts and says under one condition. When they lose, they get no more chances to get in the ring with Lynch and Rollins. This leads to Rollins and Lynch accepting another stipulation. Their titles will be on the line, winner take all. Corbin and Lynch exit, and Rollins and Becky stand tall in the ring. Spoiler alert, that ain't going to happen because they are advertised for Bossier City live event facing off against with Becky is still champion. But it could come. Card subject to change. What have you. So it comes segment, triple main event. Kofi Kingston versus Sami Zayn. AJ Styles versus Ricochet. Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. Handicap match. 8-man tag team elimination match. Daniel Bryan, Eric Rowan, and the Revival versus the New Day and Usos. We go to the ring for 8-man action. Tag team elimination. One man gets pinned on the tag team. Both men have to leave. 4 men enter. 2 get pinned or counted out. They leave. Daniel Bryan and Rowan were out, and then they go to commercial. Back for the break. Raw Tag Team Champions, the Revival, Scott Dawson, and Dash Wilder were out. New Day, Big E, and Gabriel Woods were out. Usos, Jimmy Uso, and Jay are out next, working the mic on the way to the ring. Dawson takes himself in to start the match, and after it looked like Bryan was starting with Woods, Dawson takes Woods down. Big E takes himself in, runs over Dawson. Dawson and Big E double team Woods, now with his flash and a leg drop. Big E covers for a 2 count. Big E stands with Dawson, but doesn't see Rowan tag in. Rowan drops Big E and knocks Woods off the apron. Rowan manhandles Big E and sends both of the Usos over the top to the floor. Rowan misses his flash as Big E moves. Woods and Bryan go at it now. They collide with close out and go down, but get right back up. Bryan, with more home state pops in this match, Bryan sends Woods out and runs the ropes, but accidentally takes down Dawson on the dive. Wilder has words for Bryan. Bryan brings Woods back in and hits the big missile drop kick. Bryan kicks up for a big pop. Bryan would kick to Woods, and the fans do the yes chants. More back and forth between Bryan and Woods. Wilder ends up taking out Bryan, supposedly by accident. This leads to Woods pinning Bryan for the elimination. We get Woods double teamed by the Revival now. They hit the Shatter Machine as Woods flies off the top. His dash covers for the win. Covers for the pin and elimination of the New Day. So we're down to tag team action. Back from the break, Usos double team Dawson on the floor. The bell rings and they restart the match. Jay hits a big crossbody on Dash in the ring for a close 2 count. Usos double team Dash again. Jimmy with a close 2 count. Jimmy goes back to the top. Dash jumps up and knocks Jay off the apron. Jimmy kicks Dash and works him over until Dash slams Jimmy onto the mat for a close 2 count. Dash and Jimmy trade shots on the apron. Jimmy drops Dash with a headbutt. Revival hits a big double team from the top, but Jimmy kicks out at 2. Dawson argues with the referee. Jimmy fights off Dawson and drops him with an enziguri. Jimmy goes to the top, but Dawson cuts him off with a right hand. Dawson climbs up, but Jay tags in. Dash goes up top of the opposite corner. Dawson hits a suplex to Jimmy, bringing him to the mat. Jay follows up from the opposite corner, and they hit the dual splash for the pin and win. After the match, Uso Santal as the music hits. Still to come segment, Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley will meet in a tug-of-war contest. I didn't see that match, didn't care about it. Take a bathroom break. We'll get a promo on Roman Reigns, Shane McMahon, and Drew McIntyre feud. The handicap match that we'll take on later. We see the Miz walking backstage. 24 champion R-Truth will be his Miz TV guest. Bray Wyatt's Witch, Ebony the Witch, can be seen in the background as he's walking to the arena. Back commercial. As my daughter Caitlin seen it, said, what's going on now? A witch, a witch. I seen it. Back for the break, and we'll see Braun Strowman pulling an 18-wheeler in the parking lot, warming up for his tug-of-war match. He will face Bobby Lashley in the tug-of-war later on. We go to the ring. Miz is out for another must-see edition of Miz TV. Miz mentions about how exciting WWE 24/7 title has been and introduces his guest for tonight, Carmella and a very paranoid WWE 24/7 champion R-Truth. Truth checks under the ring, but Miz concerned that WWE officials have suspended the 24/7 rule during this segment. Miz talks about the 24/7 title changes and shows us how Truth captured the title back with Drake Maverick at his wedding a few days ago. Miz asks, really? Really? In regard to the wedding title change, Truth goes on about how hard his life has been since he won the title. Maverick finally appears and comes walking to the ring. He's disheveled about and looks like he's had a rough weekend. Drake says Truth ruined his best moment in his life. Drake goes on about how his wife won't talk to him. He won't go on the honeymoon with him and won't even consummate the marriage with him. Fans continue to give him the what treatment. Truth mistakes consummate for constipate and recommends fiber for Drake's problem. Fan check constipation now, as I did hear that from the kitchen while I was getting something to drink. Drake challenges Truth to a rematch on Raw so he can win back the love of his life, not his wife, the title. Miz says he's receiving information from the back now. If Truth accepts, competitors from the back will be banned. It will be Drake versus Truth. Fan chat yes, and Truth takes it over. Truth refers to Drake as Hornswoggle and accepts the challenge. Miz calls for a referee as we go to commercial. 24/7 title, Drake Maverick versus R-Truth. Back for the break, R-Truth immediately puts Drake Maverick away to retain the title by pinfall. After the match, a group of superstars hit the ring and ringside area to try and get the title from Truth. Truth evades but runs back into the mix of wrestlers in the ring but starts fighting superstars off. Cedric Alexander drops Truth, but Truth kicks out at 2. No Way Jose is also involved in that sequence. A big brawl breaks out at ringside as Truth escapes through the crowd. Carmella is with him. The chase continues. Drake is left in the ring. Charlie Caruso asks him where he goes next after this rough week. Drake doesn't speak. He just slowly leaves the ring and looks emotional as fans sing the na-na-na-na, na-na-na-na, hey. Goodbye to him. We see Roman Reigns walking backstage. Back to commercial. I didn't see it because I was still either getting something to eat or getting something to drink. Back to the ring, we see winner take all announcement for Extreme Rules from earlier. Consummated Corbin and Lacey Evans backstage getting on the same page. They both want titles. Corbin says maybe they will be WWE's new power couple after the match is over. Corbin walks off and Lacey stares at him. 2-on-1 handicap match was up. Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. We'll go to the ring for tonight's handicap match. Out first comes Shane McMahon. Drew McIntyre was out next and they head to the ring together. Shane has Mike Rome give him the grand introduction. And some fans boo. Rome then reveals that there will be no tags in this match. Roman Reigns will do battle against both opponents at the same time. Tornado tag. Music hits and out comes Roman Reigns. So the match changed again. As it was supposed to be a handicap match, now it's tornado rule. Reigns takes the rings and immediately takes out Shane. Drew unloads on Reigns in the corner and Reigns turns it around. Reigns comes right back and clotheslines Drew to the floor. Shane attacks Reigns, but Reigns thrusts him into the corner. Drew pulls Reigns to the floor and launches him into the barrier. Drew sends Reigns into the steel ring steps next. Drew grabs half of the steel steps and drives him into Reigns' face. Shane and Reigns bring Reigns back into the ring now. Drew holds Reigns down now as Shane decks him. The assault continues as Drew nails a Claymore kick. Shane mocks Reigns and delivers a spear as the fans boo. Shane calls for another Claymore and Drew delivers. Drew holds Reigns in the corner and Shane goes to the top for the coast to coast. The lights suddenly go down and the bell tolls as the fans go wild for the Undertaker. Lights come back on and the Undertaker is in the middle of the ring. Taker nails a choke slam to Shane and a big boot to Drew. Taker unloads on Drew in the corner. And Taker drops Drew with a big right hand. He's not in his Undertaker gimmick. He's at his American Badass gimmick. So he gets up. Taker clotheslines him over the top rope to the floor. The crowd goes wild as Taker stares down Drew and Shane, who were shocked on the ramp. Taker drops to one knee, cuts his own throat. Wherever he do it. Lights goes on back on as he poses and stares up the ramp. Reigns looks on from the corner, still recovering. Taker continues staring up the ramp as we go to commercial. Back from the break, we'll see what just happened with Undertaker. We'll go back to the ring and the crew is setting up for tonight's tug of war. Strowman is up first, followed by Bobby Lashley. We get a tail of the tape before the battle. Fan chat get these hands as the two men get ready to go. The winner is the first person to pull the other over the red line in the center of the ring. Lashley almost pulls Strowman over the line early on. Strowman stops and smiles at Lashley, then drags him over the line for the win as the bell hits. Lashley unloads on Strowman in the corner, then sends him shoulder first to the ring post. Lashley wraps a thick tug-of-war rope across Braun's face, pulls him back in. As the referee tries to break it up, fans boo as Strowman recovers on the outside. Lashley follows and charges on the floor, but Braun runs him over with a big shoulder. Lashley then sends Braun into the barrier and yells out as the fans boo him. Lashley raises his arms as he thinks he wins and backs up the ramp as his music starts up. Strowman recovers and looks on. So to come segment, Kobe Kingston versus Sammy and Ricochet versus AJ. Carolyn Caruso backstage with AJ, asking him about his match with Ricochet, mentioning this is his first night back from injury. AJ talks about being ready and challenging Ricochet. But No Way Jose's music and the Congo line erupts. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are part of the line. AJ reminds them that they have a match tonight. He takes issue and says he's been trying to talk to Anderson and Gallows, but Anderson insists that they are at the top of their game. AJ reminds them that they lost the match last week. AJ wants to know where the Gallows and Anderson he met in Japan are. Where the Gallows and Anderson, who were Raw Tag Team Champions, are. What happened to them? Carl asks what happened to AJ. There's more attention, but Gallows says they're headed to the ring to prove to AJ. The Viking Raiders versus Gallows and Anderson. The club. Back from the break. Gallows and Anderson are out first. Out next are the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar. The bell rings and Gallows goes right to work. On Ivar, unloading in the corner and beating him up. Anderson tags in for some quick, aggressive double team. Ivar decks Anderson, and in comes Eric for a double team move. Eric counters an attack, but Anderson comes right back with a big clothesline for a pop. Anderson with big right hands. Gallows tags back in for a double team, sending Eric back down. Gallows drives the elbows into Eric over and over, keeping him grounded. Then we'll see AJ watching backstage on the monitor. Anderson comes right back in, and they hit double team boot of doom. Anderson with another 2 count. Anderson mounts Eric with right hands. Anderson stands tall and plays to the crowd some, showing off for a mixed reaction, asking AJ if he sees that. This backfires as Ivar comes back in and unloads. Ivar also takes out Gallows, clotheslining him over the top to the floor for a pop. Ivar runs the ropes and flies out, taking Gallows down for a big pop. Eric is a legal man now. The Viking Raiders hit the Viking Experience on Anderson for the pin and the win. After the match, Viking Raiders stand tall in the ring as their music hits, and they look back at Gallows and Anderson looking on from the ramp as AJ is also looking bad, just on the monitor. Backstage, Nikki Cross apologizing to Alexa Bliss for her loss at Stomping Grounds. She takes the blame for it. Bliss says Cross can use that for motivation. Bliss says Bayley does know how to manipulate people and crush their dreams. Cross says there has been some kind of way to get a rematch for Bliss. Bliss says they just have to think up a good plan. Bliss apparently sends Cross away so that they can think up that plan. Back to the arena for 24/7 champion. R-Truth is being chased. Okay, I messed up. I skipped a segment. Back from the break, and Natalya and Naomi approached Nikki Cross backstage. They warned her, as a new personal Raw, not to get mixed up with someone like Alexa. They're not trying to look out for her because they dealt with Bliss before. Cross says she knows Bliss's reputation, but Bliss walks in and catches them downing her. They have words, and Naomi tells Natalya just to let Cross find out on her own. Naomi says she's going to give the glow to Bliss later tonight. We go back to the arena, and 24/7 champion R-Truth is being chased in the ring by superstars. Calypso leaps out of the ring and takes out a group of superstars on the floor. Mojo Rawley tries for Truth, but lands on the floor. Heath Slater, who is supposed to have a singles match with Mojo, drops Truth with a neck breaker, covers for the pin to win the title. So he's won the 24/7 champion. After the bell, EC3, Eric Young, and Titus Zanero among those that go for Slater's title. Truth ends up pinning Slater and taking the title back, making him an 8-time champion. Winner and new 24/7 champion, R-Truth. After the bell, Cedric Alexander flies at Truth with a lumbar check and takes the pin for the title. And Cedric Alexander is your new champion. No Way Jose, EC3, and Mojo are among those going for the title again. EC3 drops Cedric on the floor, face first, and then covers him for the pin and wins the title. So EC3 is your new champion. After the pin, EC3 celebrates up the ramp, but Carmella comes from behind and snatches the title from his hands, distracting him. R-Truth takes advantage and comes from behind, rolling EC3 up for the pin to bring the title back to him, making him a 9-time champion. Winner and new 24/7 champion R-Truth. After the bell, Truth and Carmella run through the back through the crowd. EC3 is sitting there looking devastated. A group of superstars run by, chasing Truth through the back. So to come segment, AJ Styles versus Ricochet. We see stills from Ricochet's U.S. title win over Samoa Joe at Stomping Grounds. Ricochet is backstage with Sarah Schreiber now. Ricochet says that this is a feeling he doesn't want to go away, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen. He goes on and says he's looked up to AJ Styles his whole life, but tonight he will prove that he's worthy enough to hold the title. We see WWE Champion Kofi Kingston backstage warming up for his match commercial. Kofi versus Sami Zayn. Back from the break, out comes WWE Champion Kofi to a pop. We see stills from the steel cage match win over Dolph at Stomping Grounds. Charlie was in the ring to interview Kofi, but she's quickly interrupted by the music as Sami Zayn comes out with Kevin Owens. They take several shots at Charlie and dismiss her. Owens says we're about to have an impromptu edition of the Sami and Kevin show. They say it's time for some hard-hitting questions. Question 1. Why are you here? Question 2. Why do you think you're here? Or who do you think you are? Question 3. Why don't you just get the hell out of here, man? Kofi's question is about a zit Owens has on his head. Sami asks for why Kofi is a paper champion and why he uses his friends Biggie and Xavier Woods. Kofi goes on and says that they have a brotherhood that no one can break, unlike the weird friendship between Owens and Sami. Kofi then points to his win over Ziggler last night at his recent recent Money in the Bank win over Owens, all by himself, like he will beat Sami by himself tonight. They go back and forth on the mic more until Kofi says he's tired of hearing Sami talk. Fans agree. Kofi calls Sami to come into the ring and catch another Trouble in Paradise. Sami and Owens look on from the stage, and Kofi calls for the match to begin. His music hits as we go back to commercial. Back from the break, the match is underway. Back and forth for the first few minutes. Sami unloads in the corner, the referee backs him off. Sami keeps control in the corner. Kofi finally mounts offense and gets a big pop for the comeback. Kofi hits a boom drop for another pop. Sami avoids Trouble in Paradise and rolls Kofi up for a 2 count. Kofi comes off the second rope with a drop kick to turn it back around. Sami goes to the floor for a breather. Owens ends up getting a cheap shot on Kofi at ringside, and Sami has the referee distracted. Sami keeps control and brings Kofi back in, stopping to high-five and celebrate with Owens. Fans try to rally for Kofi, and Sami keeps him grounded in the middle of the ring. They allow Kobe chance up, breaks out from the crowd. But Sammy drops Kobe again to stop the rally. Sammy whips Kobe into the ropes, but Kobe comes back with a big right hand to drop him. Fans are rallying for Kobe again. Kobe unloads with his right hand. Sammy kicks him in the gut and drops him with a punch. Sammy charges, but Kobe comes off the ropes and decks him. Sammy catches Kobe in the corner and launches him overhead into the turnbuckles. Kobe lands hard and Sammy covers for a close 2 count. Sammy takes Kobe to the top as they continue trading strikes. Kobe knocks Sammy to the mat. Kobe leaps but lands on his feet. Sammy nails a Michinoku driver in the middle of the ring for a close 2 count. Sammy can't believe Kobe kicked out. Kobe comes right back and both go down in the middle of the ring. Now as Owens looks on, sending Sammy. Sammy sends Kobe to the apron, but he springboards back in. Sammy catches Kobe in midair with a kick to the face. Sammy covers for a close 2 count. Kobe counters a move and unloads with a shot to the head. Kobe slides down a move off of a counter and rolls Sammy up for the pin out of nowhere to retain his title. After match, Kobe heads up the ramp with the WWE title in the air as the music hits. Kobe is all smiles as an angry Sammy looks on from the ring. Owens takes the mic and talks trash to Kobe. Owens challenges Kobe to come back in the ring for a match. Kobe accepts and walks back down the ramp. They're ready to start the match as we go to commercial. Match number 2. Kevin Owens versus Kobe. Back to the break, non-title match is underway. Kevin immediately nails a super kick and drops Kobe. Owens goes to the top for a frog splash, but Kobe gets his knees up and Owens lands hard. Owens more offense and another 2 count. Owens works Kobe over on the outside and goes for the pop-up powerbomb, but Kobe counters. Backdrops him on the floor. They continue going at it on the outside until Kobe nails the SOS on the steel edge of the steel ramp. Referee counts, and Owens is laid out. So Kobe wins by count out. Kobe made it in the ring, the count of 8. After bell, Kobe returns to the ring and celebrates with the title. Sammy looks to get involved again and checks on Owens at ringside. Kobe goes to the top and leaps out, taking Sammy and Owens back down on the floor again. Kobe celebrates again as his music hits, backing up the ramp. Samoa Joe suddenly runs down out of nowhere, runs over Kobe from behind. Joe works over Kobe, catapults him into the LED board on the stage. Joe then with a big urinati on the stage still ramp now. Referee trying to get Joe off as Kobe is laid out. Kobe struggles to breathe as he's helped to his feet. Joe comes back and applies the cocaine clutch, bringing Kobe back down with a hold. Things are finally broken up again, and we got more replays. Kobe is laying face down in rough shape as fans chant his name. But go back to commercial. Back for the break, Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre is confirmed for Extreme Rules. Naomi versus Alexa Bliss is up next. We go to the ring. Out first comes Naomi. Alexa is out with Nikki Cross. Naomi strikes first and knocks Bliss down. They trade slaps. Bliss comes back with a big clothesline. Bliss was more offense in the close 2 count. Naomi turns around and mounts some offense. Naomi with a split-legged moonsault for a 2 count. Or actually, the split pinfall. Naomi ends up going for the baseball slide to the floor, but Bliss moves out of the way and Naomi is connected to Cross instead. They bring her back in the ring, and Bliss drops Naomi on her head with a big DDT. Bliss covers for the pinfall. After the match, Bliss attacked Naomi and asked Cross to come in. She holds Naomi while Cross readies but just shoves Naomi over, also causing Bliss to hit the mat. Bliss looks confused. Natalya runs down and hits the ring, but Cross and Bliss retreat to the floor. Natalya stands tall as we go to commercial. Natalya and Naomi versus Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss is up next. Back for the back, matches are already underway. Natalya drops Nikki for a 2 count. Cross fights back, but Natalya nails her with a big clothesline for a 2 count. Cross turns around and just to tag in Bliss. Natalya overpowers Bliss and runs her back in the corner for strikes. Naomi tags in and takes over on Bliss. Naomi ragdolls Bliss some and hits a pole Nelson slam for a 2 count. Naomi sends Bliss face first into the turnbuckle and Natalya tags back in. Cross ends up running interference, allowing Bliss to drop Bliss for a 2 count. Cross gets hyped up on the apron now. Bliss keeps Natalya grounded in the middle of the ring. Natalya fights up and scoots Bliss for a big slam. Naomi tries to rally the crowd for Natalya. Bliss kicks out of 2. Natalya with a snap suplex and then another. Natalia goes for the sharpshooter, but Bliss fights it off. Cross tags in and starts unloading on Natalia. Cross knocks Naomi off there even by using Natalia. Cross with more offense and a running bulldog to Natalia for a 2 count. Fans pop as Cross continues to run wild. Cross with a crossbody on Natalia for a close 2 count. Cross gets hyped up again, but Natalia rams her into the corner. Not seeing Bliss tag in. Bliss doesn't come in, but Cross hits her neckbreaker on Natalia as they come out of the corner. Bliss then comes through the ropes to make the cover for the win. After the match, Bliss's music hits, and the winner stands tall. We go to replays. Naomi and Natalia leave as Cross and Bliss celebrate together. We see AJ and Ricochet walking backstage. Back to commercial, separately. Ricochet versus AJ. Back in the ring. Out first comes AJ. U.S. champion Ricochet was out next for this non-title match. Fans are dueling chants as they trade holds to start. AJ takes control on the mat. After countering, they face off and stare each other down. We see Luke Gallows and Carl Edison walking down the ramp to ringside now. AJ has words as he steps out of the ring with Anderson and Gallows asking them what they're doing. AJ takes the mic and gets in their faces, saying he's not going to let them ruin this match, so it won't continue until they're gone. AJ wants them gone now and asks them to leave. AJ watches Anderson and Gallows walk off to the back as we go back to commercial. Back to the ring, they lock up to trade holds. Anderson and Gallows are gone. Ricochet with offense early on, including a drop kick for a 2 count. Ricochet keeps AJ grounded for a bit. They turn it around in the corner, and AJ rocks Ricochet with a few shots. AJ with a chop against the ropes. AJ ends up connecting with a Pele kick as fans cheer him on. AJ works Ricochet around the ring. Now as the referee checks on Ricochet. Ricochet fights out of a hold back and fires strikes. AJ catches him in mid-move with a back drop. More back and forth. Ricochet flies out of the ring and takes AJ down on the floor. Ricochet brings her back in the ring, but AJ kicks out at 1. AJ keeps control, but Ricochet continues the fight. AJ drives Ricochet into the turnbuckle at one point. AJ shows some frustration, taking Ricochet back down to the mat. Ricochet fights up as fans rally him on. Ricochet with uppercuts and more strikes. AJ runs into a boot. They trade more big strikes, and Ricochet nails an enziguri. Both are down. Fans chant, "This is awesome!" Now they get up and trade more strikes in the middle of the ring. Ricochet drops AJ and follows up with a hurricane into the mat. Ricochet with more offense and a clothesline off the top. Ricochet with a standing shooter star press, but AJ still kicks out at 2. More back and forth now. AJ manages to hit the inverted DDT after it's blocked for the first time. Ricochet still kicks out at 2. Ricochet misses the kick. AJ unloads with strikes and a big clothesline for another close pin attempt. Ricochet with more big offense, including a moonsault. Ricochet shows frustration after being unable to get the pin on AJ once again. Ricochet goes to the top for the 630, but AJ moves and he lands on his feet. AJ rocks Ricochet and springboards in with a phenomenal forearm. AJ covers for the big non-title win. New number 1 contender for that title, AJ Styles. After the match, AJ recovers and stands tall as the music hits. We go to replays. Ricochet looks on from the mat as AJ snatches the title from the referee. AJ then hands the title back to Ricochet, helps him up as they hug and shake hands. Fans cheer as AJ raises Ricochet's arm as they stand tall together. Raw goes off the air at that point. The Dark Match main event after Raw from Everett, Washington, saw Universal Champion Seth Rollins retain his title over Constipated Constable Corbin. Triple C. One fan tweeted about the match and said, Ron said himself, "Damn, at Baron Corbin WWE and at WWE Rollins just put on an insane match for the Dark Match." #Raw. And that concludes my results for Raw and WWE main event for this week. Thanks again. See you on the video. If you don't know, just call me, brother, sisters.